what it is, party people. Here we are talking about some Elder Scrolls Legends news. 6 new card nerfs, 3 new premium alternate art cards. So what were the nerfs? Hist Grove got a bump from 3 magicka to 4 magicka. Northwind Outpost got a bump from 2 magicka to 3 magicka. Thieves Guild Recruit got a text change. Summon, draw a card. If it costs 7 or more, reduce its cost by 1 instead of reducing its cost by 2. Thorn Histmage, which got a slight bump down in health. It went from 5 to 4. Ulfric's Housecarl got a bump down in health from 4 to 3. Unstoppable Rage got a bump up from 7 magicka to 8 magicka. So what does this mean? Let's go back to Hist Grove. Now Hist Grove, you can't quite get the momentum that you basically have to have a Tree Minder in hand and pull one by turn 3 to make that your turn 3 play. This might mean a lot more Hist Speakers in play on turn 2, ramping forward to turn 4 into Hist Grove. Northwind Outpost, I'm not quite sure that the value is there anymore. You're paying 3 cost for +1 on all of your red creatures on the board. In a mono red deck, that might make sense, but I'm not quite sure if it makes sense beyond that. With Thieves Guild Recruit, I'm not sure if we'll see that retreat from the meta at all. It's generally a good card to cycle. You basically still have 2 cost, 1/2 body, and you're cycling a card back into your hand. If that card is over 7, of course, you reduce its magic by 1 now instead of 2. Although it is still good card cycle. The question is, do you include this in your ramp scout decks, in your general scout decks? Do you use it as card cycle, basically filling up dead space, helping you pursue those combos? Thorn Histmage, this is an interesting one because the summon ability doesn't change. It's still a 5 cost, 2/4. It does die to double firebolt and lightning bolt easier now. It always died to execute and hail of arrows. The fact that you're still getting the summon ability to ramp for the same cost, I think is okay. The problem now is you aren't left with a body on the board that is quite as durable. It can be removed with lightning bolt or double firebolt. I'm not sure that that nerfs that card that much. I don't think that this is going to affect those ramp scout decks as much as one might think. Ulfric's Housecarl, getting a health reduction from 4 to 3. Once again, doesn't open it up to a whole lot of new lethal options. It's not like all of a sudden it can be killed to firebolt. It can be killed by significantly more other creatures. A 3/1 elusive schemer or something like that. Still dies to lightning bolt just like it always did. You're still getting that card draw engine, and if you hide this thing behind guards, it's only really available to be tackled by other reach that your opponent has. Piercing Javelin, lightning bolt, double firebolt, something like that, crushing blow. I suppose the one major thing that does open it up now is crushing blow. Unstoppable Rage moving to 8 is really interesting because if you take non-ramp decks into account, it closes out an entire level of cards. Right before, you could be at 12 magicka. You could run a 5 cost card and an Unstoppable Rage at 12 magicka and get some pretty awesome 1-turn combos off. Now you can only go up to 4 cost cards with that. That is a pretty significant reduction in the overall power of Unstoppable Rage. So I feel like we'll probably see this drop pretty hard from the Archer game. The Archer meta is probably going to take a large hit from this. I feel like the Ramp Scout, although a very tough position, is going to suffer but not go away in its entirety. And I think that the Crusader will probably take the smallest hit of all of the cards listed here. Now let's talk about the alternate art premium cards. We've got, first of all, Master of Arms, looking a little bit thinner and a little bit balder. And as a hilarious Easter egg, he's holding the Mace of Encumbrance and the Tome of Alteration. Now we have a female Leaflurker sporting a bow instead of daggers, with an amazing blue mist coming out of it. After that, we have Alduin perched atop what I can only guess is Skulldolphin, menacing there with flames coming from his mouth. And there you go. I apologize for these not being the animated versions of the guards. Of course, you can always find those inside the game. If you like what you saw, you can always hit that like button. Feel free to leave a comment down below about how you think the meta might be affected by the card nerfs, or what you think in general of the premium art cards. I'm JT Graphic, and I'll see you folks on the other side.